Howdy, y'all. This is Stephanie Rodriguez, or as my students call me, S-Rod. And for this week's episode, I'll be talking about the Dick and Carey model of instructional design. Now, if you've been following me, you'll know that although I am a certified 8 to 12 science teacher, I did not attend college to be a teacher. That's right. I majored in animal science, with an equine science concentration. Once I graduated, I had a heart-to-heart with a dear friend of mine that told me flat out that I needed to stop messing around and realize that I'm supposed to be a teacher. So about a month after graduating from Sul Ross, I started an alternative certification program, and 6 months later started my first year of teaching. It's not exactly been downhill from there, but the point of the story is I don't feel like I have the same strength of background when it comes to folks that did go the traditional route and have an undergraduate degree in education. Now at this point in the episode, you may be asking me, and why do I care? I wanted to demonstrate for y'all that backgrounds don't matter. What matters is improving and becoming educated. So I took to our omniscient friend Google. Love that girl. And here's what I learned. As we can see from the graphic, there are 10 steps, 9 of which are iterative, which, if you left your thesaurus at home, means that the steps basically are repeated and each time improved upon. There we have one of the key components of instructional design in general, using a system to improve upon the stated objectives. The designer will begin by determining what the instructional goal is. This is the springboard from which the designer will, through a series of questions and checks, conduct instructional analysis and analyze the learners and contexts. Now, the latter is the most self-explanatory to me, but the former needed a little more. Enter Google. I couldn't find an author or date, but the URL is from Penn State University, and the webpage is titled, conveniently, Dick and Carey's Model. Sounds legit. And this unknown person let me know that conduct instructional analysis means that you determine a step-by-step of what learners are doing when they're performing the goal. Okay, that makes more sense now. So now that we know what the learner is supposed to know, and we know how they're going to gather that knowledge, and we even know about the learner, we get to the performance objectives. And this is where I think that I personally fall well below the mark. The performance objective shouldn't just be a posted, "the learner will," statement on the board. This makes the learning relevant by stating what the learner will do with the skills learned and what the criteria will be to assess mastery. Too often I just leave my kids floating out there with no firm grasp of and when and how they will demonstrate mastery to me. This takes me back to a graduate course in which we learned about decision-driven data collection. The Dick and Carey system ties perfectly into this philosophy. We need to front-load our lessons and determine how students will demonstrate achievement and how we will assess this achievement, and above all else, continuously formatively assess our kids, ourselves, and our lessons to ensure we are addressing the stated objectives, or even if those objectives need to be adjusted because of a better understanding of the students we have in our room. And I think that's where I'm going to leave y'all on this. Whether it's the Dick and Carey model or Addie or the Pebble in the Pond model, I challenge you to take your next unit or lesson and be more intentional with your entire process from start to finish. And just in case you're wondering, I'm taking myself up on that challenge also. Adios, y'all.